In previous lecture, we have discussed the mitochondria. In today's lecture, we will discuss the chloroplasts, the powerhouse of the photosynthesis. The powerhouse of photosynthesis. Before going into the structure and its function, first we have to discuss the importance of chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are specialized organelles found in exclusively in plant cells and photosynthetic organisms such as algae. These organelles play an important role in converting solar energy into chemical energy. Solar energy into chemical energy through the process of photosynthesis, allowing plants to produce their own food. Without chloroplast, plant would not be able to sustain themselves, and life on earth would be drastically different, as they are responsible for producing oxygen and forming the base of food chain, which are important in every ecosystem. Now we have discussed the structure of chloroplast. Chloroplasts are enclosed in double membrane. This is a double membrane structure of chloroplast, from where we can see this is the outer membrane and this is the inner membrane. That's why it is known as double membrane structure. And in this, chlorophyll are houses. The green pigment, which is responsible for the capturing sunlight. Inside they have thylakoid membranes. This is thylakoid membrane. This is very important one. Thylakoid membrane. These structure, somewhere you can see thylakoid are everywhere inside the chloroplast. Stacked into the structure called grana. This is structure is grana. Inside the thylakoids, grana are also present, which serves grana's main function. Thylakoid membrane stacked into grana. Grana is the serving site for light dependent reactions. Serving site for light dependent reaction of photosynthesis. Next is stroma. This is stroma. This structure, plain structure, is known as the highlighting feature is the stroma. Stroma's main function is stroma is fluid filled interior of the chloroplast. The whole interior, this is in liquid form all over the structure of chloroplast. We can see everywhere stroma is filled inside the chloroplast structure, where the second stage of photosynthesis occurs. In stroma, second stage of photosynthesis occurs. That's why this is also important. Stroma. In stroma, second stage of photosynthesis occurs. Second stage of photosynthesis occurs, which is known also as the Calvin cycle occurs. Second stage of photosynthesis occurs. The features enables chloroplast to efficiently capture and store solar energy in form of glucose and other organic compounds. So the main feature of chloroplast is to efficient capture and store solar energy in form of glucose and other organic compounds. Now we will discuss the structure of chloroplast and its importance. So this is the structure of chloroplast. It is double membrane structure, as I already stated. This is outer one membrane and this is inner one membrane. This membrane is inner one membrane and this is DNA in a spiral form. This is DNA. And the fluid-like structure, this is filled inside the chloroplast, known as stroma, and this is plastoglobules, and this structure is known as starch grain, and the dotted green structure that these are scattered inside the chloroplast is known as ribosome, and this is coiled structure is known as thylakoid. So this is the structure of chloroplast. Now we will discuss each and every part of this chloroplast in detail and will know the importance of each one. So the chloroplast have a highly specialized structure designed for maximum efficiency in capturing and converting sunlight. Their main components include importance of chloroplast. The main function is capturing and converting sunlight. Capturing and converting sunlight. Main components. First is outer membrane. Outer membrane. It is a smooth and protective layer that controls the movement of molecules. Which have to be in and out of the chloroplast. So this is the function of outer membrane. Next is the inner membrane. Inner membrane regulates the movement of materials and encloses both stroma and thylakoid membranes. Inner membrane enclosed both the stroma and thylakoids. Next is the third is thylakoid. Thylakoid, this is grana, and inside the grana contains chlorophyll, which is responsible for absorbing sunlight. Next is the stroma. Stroma, as I already discussed in structure, fluid-filled interior where the Calvin cycle occurs. Calvin cycle is light-independent reaction. Light-independent reaction takes place. So inside the stroma, fluid-filled interior where the Calvin cycle occurs, that is light independent reaction, and it contains enzymes, ribosomes and chloroplast DNA, allowing chloroplast to produce some of their own proteins. So this unique structure ensures that chloroplast efficiently absorb light, convert it into energy and use that energy to produce food for the plant. Now next is the chloroplast convert solar energy into chemical energy. So now we will know that how chloroplast converts solar energy into chemical energy. The primary function of chloroplast is to carry out photosynthesis, which takes place in two main stages. First is light-dependent reaction. Light-dependent reaction occurs in thylakoid membrane. Second is Calvin cycle. Calvin cycle, as I already explained, that this is light-independent reaction. So inside the chloroplast, photosynthesis occurs in two steps, that is light dependent reaction occurs in thylakoid membranes, and second is Calvin cycle, which is light independent reaction. So in first stage, in light dependent reaction, chlorophyll absorbs sunlight. In this, chlorophyll absorbs sunlight. So in first stage, which is light dependent reaction stage, So in light dependent reaction, which occurs in thylakoids, in this chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, exciting electrons and initiating the flow of energy. And next is water molecules are split into oxygen, means H2O molecules of water are split into oxygen, protons and electrons. So the molecules of water split into oxygen, proton and electron. Next is in this chloroplasts are enclosed in double membrane and house chlorophyll, the green pigment responsible for capturing sunlight, as I already stated this thing. So the light dependent reaction mainly functions two steps. First is chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, exciting electron, initiating the flow of energy, and water molecules split into oxygen, proton, and electron. Second cycle is Calvin cycle. Second is Calvin cycle. In Calvin cycle, which is light independent reaction, it is occurs in stroma. In this, ATP and NADPH. ATP and NADPH are used to convert carbon dioxide into glucose. Convert CO2 into glucose. ATP and NADPH used to convert CO2 into glucose. Glucose function as the primary energy source. Functions as primary energy source for the plant and forms the fundamental and foundational link in the food chain foundational link in the food chain. So the chloroplast not only provide food for plants but also release oxygen into atmosphere, which is essential for the survival of most living organisms. Next is the role of chloroplast in energy production. The role of chloroplast in oxygen production. One of the most significant contribution of chloroplast is their role in producing oxygen during photosynthesis. Plants take CO2. During photosynthesis, plants take CO2 and water using sunlight, convert them into glucose and oxygen. The oxygen released as a byproduct. Oxygen is as a byproduct of photosynthesis is vital for aerobic organism, including humans who rely on it for respiration. For example, rainforests, which are densely packed with plants, contribute a large percentage of the Earth's oxygen supply. If chloroplast did not exist, there would be no natural oxygen production, making it impossible for the most life forms to survive. Next is the chloroplast and their role in agriculture. Chloroplasts are essential to agriculture and food production, important for agriculture and food production, as they drive the process of photosynthesis that sustain plant growth. Since they are responsible for plant growth and energy storage, they directly impact crop yield. Scientists are researching ways to increase the efficiency of photosynthesis to boost food production and improve resistance to environmental stress such as droughts or poor soil conditions. For example, scientists have genetically modified plants to increase chlorophyll absorption or enhance the Calvin cycle's efficiency, which can result in faster growth and higher yields. This is especially useful for feeding a growing global population. Genetically modified plants are also much more in use in current scenario because population is huge. That's why the production of food should be much more. Now next is the chloroplast in different plant types. Chloroplast functions differently depending on the type of plants and its environmental conditions. Some examples include C3 plants. Most common are rice, wheat, and trees. Photosynthesis occurs in mesophyll cells. In these plants, photosynthesis occurs in mesophyll cells with no special adaptations. These plants thrive in cool and moist environments. Next is C4 plants, which are corn and sugarcane. They have specialized bundle sheath cells that improved carbon fixation efficiency, and these are thrive in hot and dry conditions by minimizing water loss. Next is camp plants. Camp plants are example cacti and pineapple. These store carbon dioxide at night to reduce water loss during the day and common in desert environment where water is scarce. These adaptations allow plants to survive and thrive in diverse climate, showcasing the versatility of chloroplast. Next is the chloroplast DNA and endosymbiotic theory. Chloroplasts, like mitochondria, have their own circular DNA, supporting the endosymbiotic theory, which suggests that chloroplasts originated from ancient cyanobacteria that were engulfed by early eukaryotic cells. Over the time, they evolved into specialized organelles that enabled plants to harness solar energy. Evidence for this theory includes, like bacteria, chloroplasts possesses their own DNA and ribosomes, enabling them to produce some of their own proteins. They reproduce independently through binary fission, like bacteria. Their inner membrane structure is similar to that of cyanobacteria. This discovery highlights how symbiotic relationships have played a key role in the evolution of complex life forms. Now, next is the chloroplast and their role in climate change. So, in this, by absorbing carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, chloroplasts contribute to mitigating climate change. As human activities increase carbon dioxide levels, plants and their chloroplasts serve as natural carbon sinks, reducing green gas accumulation. Forests, grassland and agriculture crops act as carbon storage system, making reforestation and plant conservation critical for controlling climate change. Scientists are also developing genetic modified plants that can absorb even more CO2, helping to combat global warming. Absorb more CO2. Next is the chloroplast malfunction and plant diseases. Chloroplasts are vital for plant health, and any defect can lead to serious plant diseases and growth problems. Some common issues include chlorosis. In chlorosis, yellowing of leaves occurs. It is caused by chloroplast damage due to nutrient deficiencies such as iron or magnesium shortage. Next is variegation. In variegation, loss of chlorophyll in patches occurs. Loss of chlorophyll in patches. In this, some plants have genetic mutation that cause chloroplast malfunction, resulting in white patches on leaves. Third is plant stress due to extreme heat or pollution. In this, chloroplast can become damaged under extreme environmental conditions, reducing a plant's ability to photosynthesize. Understanding chloroplast function is essential for developing disease-resistant crops and improving global food production. Now, finally, we would like to say that essential role of chloroplast in life on Earth. Chloroplasts are indispensable to life on Earth. They enable plants to convert sunlight into energy, provide oxygen, and serve as the foundation of the food chain. Their efficiency in producing glucose impacts agriculture, climate regulation, and even scientific research on improving plant growth. In absence of chloroplast, oxygen production would halt, plant life would vanish, and the entire food chain would ultimately break down. This makes chloroplast one of the most essential organelles for sustaining life. Through scientific advancement and genetic research, we continue to unlock the potential of chloroplast, ensuring a better future for food security and environmental conservation. Thank you so much.